but PNP chose Jamaica long time. Within 9 years, we have been choosing themselves. Corruption, nepotism, and cronyism. And all of a sudden, they're talking about choose Jamaica. But we are the national party, and everything we do is in the interest of the Jamaican people. Unless
you understand? Right, sure. And so, drop me next track. Drop me next track. It's in life and not that one for you. The bad name.
So first, this GLP government is suddenly claiming that one of their successes is the reduction in murders for the last few months. Now, we are all very happy and welcome these reduction in murders. But it has absolutely nothing to do with the GLP regime. It is in spite of the GLP regime. The first thing they did was introduce a most idiotic policy. They suddenly decided that police didn't deserve new cars, new vehicles anymore. And they were the only government in the entire world that decided they were going to purchase junk vehicles for the police. Up to today, the used vehicles haven't been delivered and cannot be found. Although all have been paid for. And the few that did arrive, some of them could barely make it off the wharf before them broke down. I remember it was embarrassing to see some of the police officers trying to be professionals driving around these old wrecks. So what happened? Vehicles are a force multiplier for the police. And by year 2, there were so few operational vehicles in the police force that the murder rate skyrocketed. It continued for the next 8 years. It was so bad that Andrew Holness now has the record of being the prime minister who's in his 2 terms, more Jamaicans have been murdered than under any other 2 terms under any other prime minister. They created the conditions why the murders spiked. They created the conditions why police couldn't get to do their jobs. And so we commend this commissioner and his team who have not wasted time talking about give us state of emergency, but focused on the spearfishing approach, which we have always advocated, rather than the net fishing approach, which only violates Jamaicans, ordinary Jamaicans' rights. And that is why we give this GLP regime no credit for any reductions which have taken place recently. And the track record of the Prime Minister and his regime is that more Jamaicans have been murdered during their 2 terms than any other 2 terms in Jamaica. We have always maintained that crime control measures must be balanced with crime prevention measures. And what are those crime prevention measures? At its core, it is investing in communities and in people. Investing in communities and its people. Social investment. That's something we advocated for when we were in office before. This administration abandoned it completely. We will be returning, and we have seen the private sector on their own because the government completely defunded social interventions and social investment. We will come back and put government funding behind these things. We know we have to go in and we have to invest in better housing stock, better road infrastructure, better schools. We have to have remedial training and employment opportunities for the young people in these communities so they have very real options. That is an approach that puts people at the center of our development.